Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States, and his life and legacy are vast and complex subjects that could fill several books. If you're looking for a brief overview of Lincoln's life, I'd be happy to provide that for you. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a one-room log cabin in Kentucky. He was raised in a poor family and had little formal education. Despite this, he was a voracious reader and taught himself about a wide range of subjects. Lincoln began his political career as a member of the Whig Party, but later became a Republican. In 1860, he was elected as the 16th President of the United States, becoming the first Republican to hold that office. One of Lincoln's most significant accomplishments as president was the preservation of the Union during the Civil War. He also delivered several notable speeches, the most famous of which is the Gettysburg Address. Another achievement of his was the Emancipation Proclamation, which he issued in 1863, in an effort to end slavery in America. Lincoln was re-elected in 1864, but on April 14, 1865, he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Abraham Lincoln's position on slavery was complex and evolved over time. At the beginning of his political career, Lincoln did not publicly advocate for the abolition of slavery. Instead, he mostly focused on preserving the Union and was primarily against the expansion of slavery into new territories. However, as the Civil War progressed and the Union struggled to gain an advantage, Lincoln began to see the elimination of slavery as a necessary means to achieve victory. In 1862, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared all slaves in Confederate-held territory to be free. The Emancipation Proclamation was a significant step towards the abolition of slavery in the United States, but it only applied to slaves in the Confederacy, not those in the border states that remained loyal to the Union. Lincoln's views continued to evolve, and in 1865, he supported the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery throughout the entire United States. And it was later passed by the Congress and ratified by the states. It's important to note that Lincoln always emphasized that his goal was to preserve the Union, and he was willing to use any means necessary to achieve that goal. The abolition of slavery was not a primary goal for him, but as the war went on and the Union forces were not succeeding, he began to see the abolition of slavery as a necessary step to preserve the Union, and ultimately to bring the Civil War to an end. In any case, Lincoln's leadership and actions played a crucial role in the eventual end of slavery in the United States, and he's seen as one of the most influential figures in the abolition movement. Abraham Lincoln was known for his powerful speeches and thoughtful words. Some of his most famous quotes include, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." This quote is from Lincoln's House Divided speech, which he delivered in 1858 upon accepting the Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate. The speech was about the growing divide between the North and South over the issue of slavery and how it was threatening the unity of the country. 47 years ago our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. The opening line of the Gettysburg Address, which Lincoln delivered in 1863 at the dedication of a military cemetery for the Union soldiers killed at the Battle of Gettysburg. The speech is considered one of the greatest in American history, and it was delivered during the Civil War, which was still ongoing. In that speech he honored the soldiers who died and emphasized the country's duty to preserve the principles of liberty and equality that it was founded upon. "With malice toward none, with charity for all." This quote is from Lincoln's second inaugural address, which he delivered in 1865, near the end of the Civil War. It is a call for reconciliation and forgiveness among the American people after a long and bloody conflict. Government of the people, by the people, for the people, also from the Gettysburg Address, Lincoln expressing the importance of democracy and the people's power. The mystic chords of memory, stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to every living heart and hearthstone all over this broad land, will yet swell the chorus of the Union, when again touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature. This quote is also from the first inaugural address, delivered in 1861. Lincoln appealed to the better nature of the American people, and how memories and history should bring the country together. These are some of the most famous and memorable quotes from Lincoln, but his speeches and writings are full of profound and thought-provoking statements. Abraham was assassinated on April 14, 1865, while attending a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. The assassination was carried out by John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer, who shot Lincoln in the back of the head. Lincoln died the following day, becoming the first president of the United States to be assassinated. Booth's attack on Lincoln was part of a larger conspiracy to kill multiple government officials, including Vice President Andrew Johnson and Secretary of State William H. Seward. However, Booth was the only one to succeed in his assassination attempt. Lincoln's death was met with widespread mourning throughout the United States, and he was widely regarded as a martyr for the cause of liberty and the Union. The death of Lincoln also had a significant impact on the end of the Civil War and the reconstruction of the United States. His funeral was organized as a national event. It traveled through cities all over the country, and many citizens got to pay their last respect to the president. Lincoln's body was eventually laid to rest at Oak Ridge Cemetery in Springfield, Illinois.